forward. Okay. Perfect. All right. And the other thing that I like to do when we get started is we always start with a little bit of breath work. So I'm just going to have you guys, I want you just to sit and try to relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. So we never want to start exercise if we're feeling kind of tense. And hopefully nobody's having a stressful morning and everybody is already feeling a little bit relaxed. But let's go ahead and take our breath into our belly. And we're going to do a big inhale, filling that abdominal area with your breath, and then a nice long exhale. And let's do that 2 more times. A big inhale, filling your belly with air, and then a nice long exhale. And one more time. Big inhale, and then a nice long exhale. Good. And now I'm gonna take my mask off because there's nobody else in the room here. You might be able to hear me better. So we're gonna go ahead and look down and look up. And we're gonna do that 5 times. Look up and just go nice and easy. Don't overextend. We're gonna let your eyes lead the way. Eyes look up, head follows. Eyes look down, head follows. One more time, looking up and looking down. Very nice. Now we're gonna look over each shoulder. So I'm going to turn my gaze behind me, and as we turn, it's okay for your shoulders to turn a little bit as well. So really try to get as far behind you as you can, so you can look all the way over that shoulder and see the wall behind you. Good. And again, it's okay to move those shoulders. Just be aware of any tension you're feeling. Hello, Carol. Look behind you. Good. We're going to do 2 more each way, looking to the left and to the right. One more time each side. To the left and to the right. Excellent. Good. And then we're just going to take our right arm. I'm going to put my left hand on my left leg. My right palm is facing the ceiling, and I'm going to reach up and just gently lean to the left, feeling a stretch through my right side. And we're going to come down, just let that hand float on down. And then the other side. Good. Just reach over, nice stretch to the side and come back. And let's do 1 more each side. We're going to reach up, over, and release. And one more time to the left side. I'm sorry, to the right side using the left arm. Very nice. And we'll come back to center. All right, and I just want you to start arching and just getting a little movement in the legs. And Carol, before you joined on, I was telling everybody we're going to do 1 segment that's going to be completely seated, so everybody will try this position. We're even going to do some things like jumping jacks in our seat, as long as we have that mobility. But it's kind of nice to just explore some movement that we can do seated that still gets the heart rate up quite a bit. All right, good. All right, so we'll just have our feet just be settled. Our first move is actually, I'm seated, sorry, let me show you real quick. I'm seated a little bit forward in my chair, so we don't want to be all the way back when we're relaxed. I want you to sit up, engaging your core. Make yourself as tall as you possibly can be. And then again, have your shoulders relaxed. Just check in with your mouth, your jaw. Make sure your teeth aren't clenched and that you just have kind of a relaxed jaw. And then our first movement is just going to be stepping out with our heels, right and left. And I'm going to set my timer. We're going to do 30 seconds. All right, and so we're just going to, and if you need to, at any time, you can hold on underneath your chair if you feel like you need to. But we're going to start with these step outs, and you decide on your tempo. You don't have to necessarily follow my tempo. I might just slow it down a little bit too here. And then we're going to keep our legs going just like this. And then we're going to start using our arms in about 5 seconds. So every little movement we're going to do is going to be 30 seconds in length. All right, so now we're going to start pressing overhead if you can. Okay, do you have any shoulder mobility issues? You can just do a curl. Okay, and I know I did say that if you have some light weights, you can use them in this class. We don't want to use them right now, actually, just because we're going to be doing a lot of up and down. So we're probably going to be okay just using body weight. Good. All right, now we're going to keep our legs, but our arms are in a goalpost position. All right, and instead of just like moving them in and out, I want you to imagine that you're squeezing a ball in between your arms, okay? And if we imagine that tension, that makes us use our muscles in a different way. And you might even feel your chest muscles contracting. All right, keep going. I have to look here at our next one. Good. All right, our next, we're going to keep the legs going, okay? And now we're just going to do lateral raises with our arms. Okay, and we don't want to go up any higher than shoulder height. Good, this is just good practice because sometimes if we are using dumbbells, we never want to lift above shoulder height. Good, keep going, keep going. I can tell my heart rate's getting up. 2, 1, good. And now we're just going to reach. This is a little trickier. My mind doesn't work as well. So keep your legs going, but we're just going to reach overhead with the opposite arm. Actually, I'm doing the same, aren't I? It doesn't matter which arm is going overhead, but let's go ahead and do that reach. Good. Okay, now we're going to go into some seated jumping jacks. So you might want to hold on underneath your chair and just see how the legs feel with this in and out motion. If you feel pretty good and you want to incorporate the arms, you're welcome. If you feel like that's too much going on or you feel anything in your back, because we want to stay seated nice and tall, go ahead and just put your hands back underneath your chair. Good. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Okay, feet are going to be flat on the floor. We're going to bring our right elbow to our left knee. Okay, just that one side for 30 seconds and then we're going to switch. So this is an oblique crunch. So this is a seated abdominal exercise. And you will feel this again if you're sitting up tall and you draw that belly button into your spine. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. We're going to do the other side now. So you'll have a bit of a torso twist as you're bringing that elbow to your knee. If anybody's having any hip flexor, top of the thigh pain with all this lifting and lowering, I want you just to leave your legs still, and we can do just the upper body portion. And we're not going to go all the way down to the knee. Okay, 2 seconds. Excellent. So now we're just going to hold our arms kind of in a, like I dream of Jeannie position. So we're just going to have our arms up at shoulder height. Perfect. And we're just going to march. So since our arms aren't really doing anything, we can pick up the pace if you feel up to it. So you can do a smaller march, but a quicker march. Good. All right, now we're going to get fancy. We're going to go front, front. We're going to take our leg out to the side, and then knee up, okay? Front, front, side, side, knee raise, okay? So 2 front, 2 to the side, and 2 knees up. Good. We only have 5 more seconds of this, and up, and up. Good. All right, we're going to go back to, oh, can you guys see me? Something happened to my internet. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, but you're frozen.
Okay, I'm glad you can hear me, but we're going back to the seated jacks. So if you hold on underneath your chair, we're going to open out the legs and come back to center. That's it. Yep, if you guys can see Laura's doing it. Good. Excellent. Now we're going to move into seated punches. So sit at the edge of your chair, legs are still, and we're just going to punch forward, okay? With intention, okay? So we want to punch, punch. Perfect. Yes, that looks good. I see Laura, I see Carol. Good job, you guys. Just keep punching forward. Good. 3.
Here you're back.
Am I back? Oh, yay, awesome, hello. Okay, we have thunderclap. So we're gonna take our hands all the way up to the side and we're gonna come together. Okay, so we're gonna go out and in. Perfect. And so legs can be still here, or you can actually keep marching if you're up for it. And as we clap in, we're gonna squeeze those chest muscles, okay, right here. So right there, give a little squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, good. Squeeze, beautiful. All right, we're going to combine our punches with knee lifts, okay? So we're going to punch, punch, knee raise, punch, punch, knee lift, good. Knee lift, good. Punch, punch. And if you're getting mixed up, don't worry. The most important thing is to just keep moving, okay? Good. So punch, punch, knee lift, knee lift. Good, okay. So this one's tricky. So I don't know if everybody can do it, and don't worry if you cannot. But we're gonna do a right leg lift, a left leg lift, and then we're gonna try to lift both together, okay? And no worries if you can't do it. So if you cannot do it, we're just gonna do more like a cross connect motion. So take your right hand, put on your left leg. Otherwise, let's try a right leg lift, a left leg lift together. And I'm definitely holding on to the bottom of my chair when I lift them together. And left and together. Good. 1 and 2 and together. So good. Good, you guys. Left and together. So when we lift up both legs, we feel it obviously in the top of our quads in our hip flexor area. But it's also a really good abdominal exercise. So those these seated crunches are actually very effective for our abs. All right, gang, awesome job. That's going to conclude our seated portion. Okay, so we're going to go. So we're going to do some standing exercises now. We'll keep your chair kind of handy if you need it for balance. We're going to go for 30 seconds, and then we'll have a 10-second break before we start the next exercise. Okay? All right. Okay, so everybody just start marching for me. Feels funny to stand up and march after being seated for so long. Good, so we're just going to march. I want you to swing your arms if you feel up to it. And then you can also experiment with flexing your arms, squeezing your fists, and pumping, okay? So that's going to give us more of a cardiovascular impact if we are very intentional about that arm swing. We have 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. All right, so you are welcome to either rest in the 10 seconds, or you can just keep your feet moving a little bit if you are able to. We're going to do a step together now. Okay, so I'm stepping to the side, bringing my foot in. Your hands can be on your hips. If you want to involve your arms, you can do it really whatever you want. I swing them out and cross in the front. Good. And try to step as wide as you can, maybe with a little knee bend, as long as that doesn't hurt your knees. But you can get a little mini squat in the center there. Good. Okay, so you can march right now, or you can just stay absolutely still if you just need that little calm down, that little break. Now we're going to have our legs a little wider. We're going to have a little knee bend with a reach overhead. So little knee bend, reach. Yes. Good, you guys. That looks great. Very nice. So little knee bend, reach overhead. Good. And then after this one, we're going to go back to marching. Good. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, so we have our 10-second rest period. I'm just going to keep my feet in motion. Small movement, 2 seconds. All right, we're going to march, ladies. So we can go with quicker, smaller marches, okay? Or you can do bigger movement, a little more slowly. Totally up to you. I want you to do whatever feels good. 10 seconds. And it's kind of good to even mix it up a little bit. Maybe do some slow big ones and then faster small ones. Good. All right, we have our 10-second break, and then we're going to move into our side steps. Okay. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Good. So big step, tap, step, tap. Good. And I'm going to incorporate my arms. Arms are optional. Good job. 15 seconds. We're halfway. Looking good, you guys. Two seconds. Good. All right, we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to start with our marches and our weighted marching side steps. I forgot one. All right, so we're going to go back to our marching. Good, really swing those arms. Anytime we flex those muscles, we just get kind of get that added little burn. And also be thinking about your core, making sure your belly is in nice and tight. 3 seconds, 2, 1, excellent. All right, we're just gonna march on our feet and we're gonna do side steps one more time. And I apologize for missing one of the exercises. We'll get to it in just a second. So we're gonna step wide. Good, maybe a little knee bend in there. As long as your knees feel okay with that. Beautiful. Yep, incorporate the arms if you want. Nice. Almost there. Keep moving. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. All right, just march your feet out. And then we're going to do the one that I forgot. We're going to take our wide stance and we're going to do just a little mini knee bend with a reach overhead, okay? So little knee bend with a big reach. Good. So we did something like this when we were stretching earlier in our chair. At least when we're standing, we don't feel like we're going to fall off the chair, right? So little knee bend, reach, reach. See if you can feel that stretch all the way through your side. And again, if anybody cannot do that overhead lift, you can just curl, okay? Very nice. All right, just an easy march here, or just relax for 10 seconds. We're gonna do cross connects next. So cross connect is basically just bringing your opposite hand to your opposite knee, okay? So it's just like this, standing up tall, drawing in your belly. Now if that feels easy, you can increase the difficulty by touching your forearm to your quad, okay? Or maybe even your knee. I mean, maybe your elbow, sorry. Your elbow to your quad. Good. 3, 2, last one. Good. We're in our 10-second rest period. I'm just gonna march slowly. And then we're gonna do our knee bend with the overhead reach one more time. All right, we're gonna do a little knee bend, reach, reach. Good. Another way to do this exercise is to reach out front. Again, if you have any shoulder pain or it's hard to reach up, you can just reach across. Good. 10 more seconds. And then after this, we're going to do those cross connects again. 2 seconds. Beautiful. All right. So just a nice easy march here. 2 seconds. We're going to do cross connects. Good. So this is the basic move. And you're Knees always come to the front, so we're not twisting our legs at all. The knees come to the front, but our torso can twist a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna touch my forearm to my quad. Good. Five seconds. Good. All right, we're going to move on to another set of 2 exercises. Let me just pause this real quick. Okay, so I want to show you, because some of you are new, we're going to do a row. So I'm going to reach out in front of me and pretend I'm holding on to a rubber band, like a big thick strap, okay? And I'm going to bend my elbows and pull my elbows right behind me, and I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together, okay? So from the front, it looks like this. I'm grabbing onto my band, and I'm pulling back, and my elbows are really close to my side, okay? So I'm not pulling out here. My elbows are nice and close, tucked in, and my shoulders are relaxed, okay? So when you reach for that rubber band, if you find that your shoulders creep up, just relax them. Pull back and squeeze the shoulder blades, okay? So that's our first one. And then after we do that, we're going to do what we call a ground zero jump. There's no jump, but I don't know why we call it that. But we're going to hinge and just drive our arms back, and we're going to come up to standing. And when we're here at the top, we're going to squeeze our belly. Just take a half a second to squeeze your belly and your glutes, okay? So everything right here is super tight. And then we're going to relax. We're going to bend our knees a little bit. We're going to drive our hips back. So you'll notice that my knees are not forward. My knees kind of stay right over my heels. And I'm going to shoot up, okay? So we're going to do those 2 exercises, about 30 seconds each. So I'm going to start with that row. I'm going to kind of turn to the side a little bit. I'm going to have a split stand. It doesn't matter how your feet are. You can be parallel if you want, it's fine. Just remember on this one, shoulders are relaxed. You're going to imagine tension. I want you to think about grabbing a very heavy rubber band and pulling it, okay? So we don't want our arms just to be noodles going in and out. We're going to grab that band and we're going to pull it back. And then we're going to release it slowly and we're going to pull it back. Good, nice. So we're going to have another time to try that, but we're in our rest period now. This is called active rest when you're moving. All right, we're going to do our ground zero jumps. We're going to swing back and come on up and squeeze. So if anybody, again, cannot reach overhead, we're just going to come here. We're going to do a curl, yes. And then you can go, as soon as you kind of feel comfortable with this movement, you can increase your tempo if you want to, but you're fine to go slow too. Good. We're going to swing back, come up and squeeze. Beautiful. Good. All right, we're going to go back to that row one more time. Oh, maybe 2 more sets. So this time my feet will be parallel. I'm going to reach out, grab that rubber band, and I'm going to pull, and I'm going to release it. I'm not going to let it pull my arms back. Pull and release. Okay, imagine that tension, you guys. Pretend you've got something that's really, really heavy to pull, and you're pulling. Good, and then we're going to release. And we're going to pull and release and pull. Sometimes imagining that tension can be kind of hard. It takes a while, so just kind of bear with me here. Good. Last one. All right, and let's do a little march. And then I'm going to turn to this side to do my ground zero jumps, okay? All right, here we go. Feet are about hip width apart. I'm going to drive my hips back, swing my arms back, come up and pull everything in. And squeeze. Squeeze. How are your shoulders doing? Are your shoulders relaxed, you guys? Is that belly pulling into your spine right there? Tuck it in. Good. Keep going at 5 more seconds. Last one. Good. Okay, we're going to do those 2 exercises one more time. So we'll do our row, okay? And then just hold on to your big tight rubber band and pull. Good. We're going to release slowly and pull. And then you're basically putting your arms back out, okay? So with intention, we're going to release and pull, release and pull. Good. So as we're bringing those elbows in, we're squeezing our shoulder blades together. Almost like you're gonna hold a pencil in between those shoulder blades, okay? 3 seconds, 2, 1, good. And we're gonna march it out, and then we're gonna do our last set of ground zero jumps, okay? 3, 2, 1. Hinge back and squeeze, good. This is a really easy exercise to do in your kitchen, when you're waiting for something to come out of the microwave, or you're waiting for a pot to boil. Just make sure you're stepped far enough away from your counter so your hands don't hit. 3 seconds. Good, excellent. All right, just kind of march it out. And then if you want to grab a sip of water, now's a good time for that. And then we're gonna go into our next segment after that. Oops. Just a little encouragement here. When this weather is so hot, even when we're inside and not feeling like we've been outside a lot or we're sweating, it's so important just to drink a lot of water, okay? So just in case anybody's not already kind of on that path of drinking about 8-ounce glasses of water a day. And you know, if you're not anywhere close to that, just every day try to increase a little bit at a time, but we need lots and lots of water. All right, gang, we're going to go into 2 more exercises. I'm just going to do them in 2 so we can kind of get used to them and just get familiar with the moves. So we're going to go into a static squat position. It's just a mini squat. So we're going to take our legs out about hip width apart, maybe a little wider. You have to kind of find the position that's comfortable for you. And then we're going to just drop our seat into a mini squat, and we're going to hold it. And I want you to flex, just really tighten your quads and see if you can even feel your glutes engage, okay? It might be more comfortable to have a slight turnout in your feet. That's okay too, okay? And if your knees are just not going to tolerate it at all, and your knees are like, I am not going to hold a squat position, then we're going to respect what the knees are saying, and you can just be in a standing position with soft knees, okay? Just so that they're not locked out. And then all we're going to do for 30 seconds is punch, okay? So we're going to go into that semi-squat. All right, gang, here we go. All right, so semi-squat position, and we're just gonna punch. And again, I'm not just gonna like throw my arms out there. I'm gonna punch with intention, okay? So I'm gonna get close to my body, and I'm gonna reach out like I'm punching a bag. And then you can decide, again, on your tempo, you can do 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Good, all right. So then we're going to come out of that position, and we're going to go into what I call a butt kicker. It's also a hamstring curl. So I'm just going to bring my heel up toward my bottom, okay? It can be little like this, or it can be a little bit bigger, okay? Just depending on how you're feeling today, how high your leg wants to kick up, okay? So it's really important to respect our bodies and what they want to do for us today. Maybe today it only wants to go here, but next week, it might go all the way up. So the one is not better than the other. Whatever you can do is perfect. Good, all right, we're in our rest period. So again, I can't emphasize enough, if you just need to stand and breathe, I want you to do that. If you feel up for a little more movement, you can march your feet. All right, so I'm back in my semi-squat position, and I'm gonna punch. And I'm going to squeeze my quads, and I'm going to squeeze my glutes. And my knees are not over my toes. Okay, so I'm sitting back, holding that position while I'm punching. Good. Good. I'm going to do 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Good. 3 seconds. Nice. All right, rest time. And then we're going to do our butt kickers next, okay? So this time, I'm going to sweeten the deal a little bit. And with my butt kickers, I'm going to do just an easy row, okay? So I'm not pulling as hard, I'm not pretending I'm pulling that rubber band, but I'm more just moving my arms to get a little upper body movement, make my heart pump a little harder. This is optional. If you feel like you're getting plenty of cardiovascular work by just working the legs, by all means, just work the legs. Good. 3 seconds. That's time. Nice. Let's just march that out. And then we're going to do that one more time. We're going to do our squat hold with the punch. Okay. Hang out there with those nice tight quads. Squeeze your glutes. And we're going to punch. And if you want to punch overhead, you can punch overhead. You can punch down to the middle. Whatever you want to do. Freestyle punching here. 5 seconds. Good. All right, 10 seconds of rest, and then we'll do our final round of butt kickers, okay? 3, 2, 1. Good. So I'm just gonna turn to the side so you can just see what it looks like from the side, a couple different angles, and then incorporate those arms if you're feeling it. Nice. 10 seconds. Good. All right, we have a 10-second break here. So we're going to move on to 2 more exercises, and we're going to work the chest by, we're going to hold our hands together in front of us, and we're going to squeeze our hands together. Okay, so from the side, you can see that my hands are really close to my chest. Okay, and I'm just pressing against my palms, and I feel my push-up muscles right here. I feel them tighten as I do that squeeze. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go into a lateral raise. So if you want to grab some soup cans, water bottles, if you have light hand weights, we're going to lift to the side and down. And then in between, in the 10 seconds, we're going to do a quick march. So I'm going to eliminate the rest for those of you who are up for it. But if you, after we do the arm movement, the arm exercise, if you want to rest, you can just rest. But for those of you who are up for it, we're going to do a quick march for 10 seconds, and then we'll move into our lateral raises. All right. So we're going to start with the chest squeeze in 3 seconds. Okay. So we're just going to squeeze against our hands, squeeze and release, squeeze, release. And then you can hold that squeeze a little longer if you need to, but I want you to see if you can feel it in your pectoral muscles when you squeeze against your hands. Squeeze. You can also do like a prayer position squeeze if that works better for you. You can try your hands, your fingertips pointed forward, lots of different ways to do it. I just want to see if you can feel it. Good. All right, we'll do a quick march before we do our lateral raises, okay? Pump those arms. These are going to be little tiny marching steps so that we can go fast. 2, 1, beautiful. Here we go with lateral raises. Good. So looking up. So you can see I don't have weights in my hands. So what I'm doing is I'm imagining resistance as I lift. I'm pretending that someone is pushing down on my arms as I'm lifting, and then I'm going to come back down with control. So when I come down, I'm pretending that somebody is trying to resist my arms coming back down. Perfect. And if you cannot, if the lateral raise is uncomfortable, you can come to the front, or we can also just do curls. So I'm back to my quick marching here, guys, for 3 seconds. Awesome, we're back to that chest squeeze, okay? So squeeze and release, squeeze, release, good. And again, I want your posture perfect, okay? So let's stand up tall, nice tall back, and we're squeezing against our hands. Maybe squeeze and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Let's do it again. Squeeze and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. All right, quick rapid march. Okay. You can see my feet are barely coming off the floor. Hopefully go a little faster. All right, gang, let's do the lateral raises, okay? So no worries if you don't have anything in your hand, you can imagine the resistance, okay? I definitely feel this in my shoulders right now. Good, because my arms are really tight. Lift and lower, good, lift and lower. Again, you can try front raises if the lateral raises are painful at all, or you can go ahead and just do some bicep curls. 3 seconds, 2, 1, good. All right, rapid march if you want to. And then we're gonna do those two exercises one more time. 3, 2, 1, good. All right, let's go ahead and push against our hands. We're gonna do something a little different this time. I do want you to have prayer position, hands. Point your fingers toward the wall in front of you. And you're gonna press your arms out and come back in. And as you're pushing out, I want you to push against your palms. So push, 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 and then come back in. So create that tension against your hands and then come back. Good. I always feel this one a little bit more if I do the push out and come back in. Awesome. All right, quick march. And then we have one more set of those lateral raises or front raises or bicep curls. All right, here we go. We're gonna lift and lower. All right, so we're really working our upper body, but let's focus on our belly right now. And I want you to pull your belly button to your spine. Okay, we might as well involve the core with these exercises. And if you need a little more encouragement for that core, you can try to stand on one leg. Okay, that's up to you, optional. You can switch legs. Good. All right, last one. And so let's just do a quick little 10-second march, and then we're going to move on to 2 more exercises. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Okay, so if you can come to the floor, and if you have a mat, I'm going to turn my mat sideways. And no worries if you can't. I'm going to show you what you're going to do in a standing or seated position. But if you can come to the floor, we're going to do glute bridges. So you're going to lie flat on your mat. Your heels are going to be like, so if you lay your hands on the floor, you should be able to touch your heel with your middle finger, okay? So we don't want your legs way out here. We don't want them like all the way up against your bottom. So just a little ways out. And then from here, you probably have all done these exercises. You're going to lift your hips off the floor and you're going to squeeze your glutes. And then you're going to lower slowly. As soon as those hips touch, you're going to go up again. Okay. So that's going to be your first exercise. And then the second one, this is kind of tricky. We're going to bring our legs up and our hands above our shoulders. This is called a dead bug. And so I'm going to lower my right arm and my left leg, and then I'm going to come back to center. Okay. And I want you to try this slowly. If it bothers your low back at all, I want you to drop your heel down to the mat. Do not extend your leg. Okay. And then if it's too tricky with the arms and the legs, everything going on, then just do the legs. And then we'll keep working on it. All right. So if you're standing or seated, and actually, Carol, let's go ahead and do this one standing, okay? We're going to do a standing glute squeeze. So while the ladies on the floor are doing the glute bridge, we're going to do the same thing, but we're just going to squeeze our glute muscles, and then we're going to release them, okay? And then instead of that dead bug exercise, Carol, we're going to do a march with the reach. Yes, okay? All right, gang, here we go. So go ahead and do those glute bridges. And Carol, we're going to squeeze our glutes and release. I'm going to squeeze them and release. So you might even feel yourself doing a slight pelvic tilt when you do that. So squeeze and release. Good, good, Laura. I can't see those other ladies because you don't have your cameras on, but I'm trusting you're doing okay. If you have any questions about your form, turn your video on and I'll take a peek. Good. All right, so if you're on the floor, you're going to come to your to this position, tabletop, and then we're going to extend opposites, okay? Or drop that heel to the floor, come back, drop the heel to the floor, come back, okay? But protect the low back for sure. So if you feel anything in that low back, we're going to switch up the exercise, okay? Laura, that looks really good. And just, if you're on the floor, keep that belly button drawn in. even push that low back into the floor a little bit. 2 seconds. Good. All right, we're gonna do it again. All right, Carol, you and I are gonna do something a little bit different. Ladies on the floor, you're gonna do your glute bridge. So feet are on the floor, and then you're gonna lift your hips up. Carol, we're gonna hinge. Yes. So we're gonna go over, we're gonna stick out our glutes, like we're shutting the car door with our butt. Okay? Come back up. So, and my back is nice and flat. So my shoulders are not rounded. Okay, I've got a nice flat back. And I'm just gonna hinge till my torso is parallel with the floor and come on back up. You might feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg when you do that. Perfect. All right, we're gonna switch. Carol, you and I are gonna do the march with the reach. Ladies on the floor, we're gonna switch to the dead bug, okay? All right. Remember, we're gonna protect that low back at all costs. So just laying there, really pulling that belly button in might be just enough, okay? If this feels too advanced, you want to keep your hands on the floor and just drop one leg and then the other leg. We can do that too, okay? Just lots of options. We just want to go really easy and always, always protect the low back. Good. I've trained a lot of people before, and many people have asked or have said to me, oh, I thought that your back is supposed to hurt when you do abs. It's not. Okay, gang, if you're on the floor, you're going back to your glute bridges. Okay, Carol, we're going to go ahead and do that hinge again. And stand and squeeze. So we're going to hinge, and when we stand up, we're going to really tighten those glutes. And we're going to hinge. Good. Perfect. So it's just another option for working the glutes in a standing position. 3 seconds. Good. All right, Carol, you're going to go back to the march with the reach. I'm going to go down to the floor and demonstrate the dead bug. So then we can just drop one heel to the floor if this makes it a little easier. If you're up for the challenge and want to try to drop opposites, I actually just did the same side. And then if you feel really comfortable with this exercise and you want to do straight leg drops, you totally can do that too. Okay, just kind of depends on where you are today. Good. All right, that was our last one. That's time. Good. So all right, we're going to do, since we're on the floor, we're going to do a little break now. For those of you who are on the floor, and Carol, I'll have you come to a seated position, okay, on your chair, and I'll show you in just a second. If you're on the floor, we're gonna bend the right leg, okay, so my right foot is flat on the floor, and my left leg is extended. And my foot is flexed. So my toe is really pointing toward my body, okay? And that means I have some tension in this left leg. So it's like, it's not just loose and hanging there. And I'm gonna lift my leg and only to about a 45-degree angle. Okay, so I'm not gonna come, it's not about swinging the leg up. I'm gonna lift and lower, okay? So this is a good exercise for, it's good for our quads. Also good for our lower abdominals. And if you are comfortable, you can bring your head and shoulders up off the floor as long as there's no tension in your neck, okay? So do 10 lifts with your left leg and then switch and do 10 with your right. And then Carol, you're just gonna be doing leg raises, okay, in a seated position. So we'll have that right leg extended, we're sitting up really tall, and we're gonna lift and lower. And then when you lower your leg, we want to just kiss the floor with it, with the heel. So we don't want to smack our foot down, right? We want to just really kiss the floor with that heel. We're lowering with control. Beautiful job. So Carol, we'll do about 10 with that right leg, and then we'll switch and do 10 on the left leg. Good. Very nice. Good. All right, and then if you are on the floor, I'm just watching Laura. For Laura, when you finish, We're gonna flip over to the other side. We're gonna try a plank position. And then Carol, I'm gonna have you try your plank position on holding onto your chair or your desk. But if do you have carpet under your chair? You do, okay, perfect. I just don't want it to slide. We don't want that happening, okay? So we're gonna hold a plank, and if you're on the floor, hold on just a second. I'm just gonna show Carol here real quick. We're just gonna hold on to the sides of the chair and try step out our legs and just see if we can get our body in one long line. Yeah, good job. Hold that for about 15 seconds. And if you're on the floor, we can try a full plank. If that's too hard, you're gonna drop your knees to the floor, okay? And then in this position, again, you're gonna squeeze your glutes. You're gonna pull that belly button, Laura, that's perfect, that looks great. So sort of 15 seconds, you guys, and then you can lower your knees to the floor. Not you, Carol, but if you're on the floor. And then you can go back up. Carol, that's perfect. Hold that another 10 to 15 counts. And then we'll come back up. That's great. Awesome, all right. So if you were doing a plank on the floor, I want you to go back over to your back, and we're gonna do those leg lifts one more time. So we'll do 10 on the right leg, 10 on the left leg. So Carol, you and I will, actually, you know what, Carol, let's do our standing this time. What do you think? Let's try that. So I've got my chair to my left, so I'm just holding on for balance. My right foot is flexed. Remember, your toes are pointing toward your body. And let's lift and lower. Good. Good. 2, 30. We're going to lower with control. Good. I'm not going to count because I know you guys might be off on a different number. So we're going to lift and lower with control. Good. Carol, I think we have 2 more on the right side. Good. And then we'll switch to the left. So just a nice, slow, controlled movement, not flinging the leg. We're absolutely going to lift it using our quads and also our abs. And if you're standing, the leg that is supporting us is also working. So those quads and glutes, the quads and hamstrings are engaged on the standing leg. All right, I think we have one more, Carol. All right, and then when you guys are down on the floor, you can flip back over and do that plank for about 15 seconds. And again, if the plank is bothering your low back, I want you to go to a modified position with your knees on the floor. So plank should never hurt our back. Sometimes what happens is if we drop our hips too low, like this, I'm exaggerating, but that can definitely hurt our low back. So you could try hiking your hips just a little bit, but we want to squeeze those glutes, pull that belly button into your spine. Yes. And I don't care how long you hold it, whatever you feel like you can do. Sort of 15 seconds. If you can go to 30, no problem. Keep on going up to 30. If you want to do one plank for 15 seconds, I love it. So whatever you've got. Beautiful job, you guys. Nice. Okay, then let's do those 2 exercises one more time. We'll go back to those straight leg lifts for 10 each leg, and then flip over for your plank. Okay. And so Carol, you want to do standing again? Perfect. All right. Start with my left leg this time. Good. And we want to be really aware of our posture. Make yourself a half an inch taller, Carol. Just as tall as you can be. We're going to pull that chin back. It helps us to have perfect posture. And we tuck that chin in. Good. Good. That one, I kind of flew through that. That was pretty fast. And I'm switching to my right leg now. Good. Good. So if you guys are on the floor, tuck those fingertips right around that lower abdominal area and just make sure you feel those abs engaging with the lift. Looks good. All right. one more plank, and then we're gonna go to a couple of cool down exercises. I can't believe it's 10:21 already. All right, so for maybe 3 10-second planks this time, or one 30-second plank, whatever you feel like you can do. Like some of those exercises that just never seem to get any easier, no matter how often you do them. Good job, you guys. All right, and then when you guys are done on the floor with your planks, I'm going to have everybody come up to standing just for our little finisher. Just before we move into our stretches, I'm going to take us through just a little, about 1 or 2 minutes, just a little bit of movement. These can be smaller now since we're entering the cool down phase, so we don't have to do everything quite as big. Oh, you're going. Bye, Laura. So nice to meet you, girl. All right, so a little march here, and then let's take our feet a little wider, a little step tap, step tap. Good. Do a few more of these. And then we're gonna do those butt kickers one more time. So just bring that heel up. It doesn't have to be as big as the last time you did it. Maybe just a little bit of arm swing here. Good. Nice and easy. Okay, we'll do 2 more with our feet. Done. We're gonna keep our feet still now. I just want you to bring your, we're gonna rotate that right shoulder to the back. Good, so we'll just do one side here. Maybe we'll do sort of 10 on the right, good. And then let's go to the left side. Rotate that around. Good. Okay, we're gonna take our hands behind our back, okay? And then I'm just going to straighten my arms. So initially when I grab my fingers are interlaced. I'm going to straighten my arms now. And as long as it's comfortable, okay? But if you're feeling any tension, go ahead and keep those elbows bent. If you can straighten that spine and maybe lift your arms up a little bit. So I feel this exercise through I kind of feel it in my biceps, shoulders, back of the shoulder. Yeah, a little bit in my chest. Good. So we're going to release that and we're going to just bring our arms to the front and then to the back. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together again, okay? And so we're going to go front and back. So as I come to the front, I'm rounding my back a little bit up here and I'm really trying to stretch through those shoulder blades and come back. Good. That really need to get the blood flow to that area because we are on our phones a lot and computers and stuff, and a lot of times we sit like this and we don't bring our shoulders up and back, so all it gets really tight. Good. All right, we're gonna do a couple leg stretches to finish. So I'm gonna stand on my left leg and I'm gonna have my right, a little bend in my left knee. And then my right leg is extended and my toe is pulled up toward my body. Both of my hands are going to be on my left quad, not my knee, but my quad, okay? And then I'm just going to have a flat back as I lean over toward that right extended leg. Okay, so I'm like this. Yes, okay, Carol is doing it seated. I love that. You may feel it a little bit more if you do it seated. Good, and so I'm feeling this stretch in my hamstring. Okay, and our hamstrings are connected to our glutes. So I actually feel this all the way to the back of my leg, okay? And then we're gonna just come up slowly, and we're gonna switch legs. So my right knee is bent just a little bit, my left leg is extended and my toe is pulled up toward my body. My hands are on my right quad and I'm leaning over with a nice flat back. Good. Just hold that and I'll show it in a seated position too. When you do it seated, you want to kind of put it in our chair. And my left leg extended, my right leg is bent, and I'm just leaning in. Good. Very nice. All right, and let's just march up those legs a little bit, either seated or standing. Thanks you guys for joining in today, and I'll be back in 2 weeks. The class was recorded if you ever wanted to do it again a second time. And then if anybody had any questions, if your video was off and I couldn't really like see your form or comment, if you have questions, like that didn't really feel right or feel good, let me know. And I can walk you through. And if there was anything that you felt like you would like more of, definitely let me know, okay? So I'd love to try to cater this class to everyone's needs. But yeah, so it's really great to see you and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. I
Appreciate
really
it.
liked it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Have a good week.
You too.